Hi, thank you very much. We are the last session here at the Pitch Hub. Welcome very much to Blockchain Carbon Revolution, Carbon Trade Exchange and ClimateCoin present solutions. My name is Margaret Ann Splon. I am the Executive Director at the Climate Markets and Investment Association. And we're really excited to be here today. We've got Wayne Sharp, who's the founder and CEO of Global Markets Group and Carbon Trade Exchange. Jim is a fintech company and unique experts in the envirotech space, designing building exchange platforms, registries, and financial technology infrastructure for equities and other commodities. We've also got Dr. Michele Stua here, who is a member of ClimateCoin team, where he operates as a senior advisor on carbon markets, and he is a research fellow at the University of Sussex. He's also an expert in carbon markets and does a lot of work on Article 6. So I'm going to hand this over. We've got two presentations, and then we've got some questions afterwards. We recognize that afterwards we'll have some drinks as well. Please stick around, come and meet us. We're delighted you're here. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least, we can start. I will provide you a brief introduction of what ClimateCoin is and what the aim of ClimateCoin is. We realize as a company, as many of us in this building and beyond, that there are lock-ins, mismatches in the system to align supply of mitigation outcomes and demand of mitigation outcomes. Basically, carbon markets do not properly work at the moment. They are too much jeopardized. There are too many different ways of certification, requirements for certifications, etc. So we tried to sort out a solution that could harmonize these different and jeopardized elements under a single framework, or a ClimateCoin ecosystem, as we call it. Basically, ClimateCoin ecosystem is based on four key pillars. The first one being the proper issuance of tokens, ClimateCoin tokens or CO2 tokens. The second one being a trading system to exchange these tokens. A third one being a wallet to facilitate individuals in this process of trading and tracking and checking and verifying their own tokens. And the final one, the Climate Fund, where the original carbon credits are deposited. What exactly this means? It means that we offer to whoever, individuals, businessmen, companies, public sectors, governments, the opportunity to demonstrate their ambitions, reaching their ambitions in terms of mitigations by purchasing our tokens, which are stapled and linked to certified mitigation emissions. For each token that is sold by ClimateCoin, there is a corresponding ton of certified mitigation saved in the deposit, in the fund of ClimateCoin. Which kind of certificates? Currently we are accepting voluntary emission reduction, certified emission reductions under the second phase of Kyoto Protocol, the RED Plus kind of certificates, and basically we are aiming to include, to be inclusive, hence including whichever kind of certification that will be accepted in the Paris Agreement, in CORSIA, and in other systems for carbon markets. Whoever wants can obtain tokens in exchange of their own credits, or can buy directly tokens, and we are going to use this money to buy effective credits that are deposited in the fund. What the token owners are entitled to do is trading these tokens among them. This means that instead of having a variety of different kind of credits, the most of the times not interchangeable with each other, actors are exchanging exactly the same kind of token. The different credits are deposited in the fund. The tokens are just simply unique tokens representing tons of carbon dioxide mitigated, wherever in the world, whichever system that it was used, whichever sector involved, until these are certified and recognized. By this, we aim to facilitate a much larger use of carbon markets, simplifying, harmonizing life for those that trade, those that produce these credits, making monetization for them a bit more stringent, a bit more immediate, a bit more efficient, but also thanks to the adoption of a blockchain technology, which leads to an immediate recognition of tokens in exchange of the credits. We want to pursue transparency, cost effectiveness, cut of transaction costs in general, and basically facilitating life for everybody, for every kind of stakeholders, actor involved in carbon markets and in trading credits of any form and chance. At the end of this process, token holders are entitled to withdraw their own tokens, giving back credits to finally demonstrate their actual mitigations. This happening at the end of the process, but for the whole process of existence of the tokens, these tokens are exchanged regardless their original kind of crediting, and they are used as a single form of trading unit, a sort of cryptocurrency. It is a cryptocurrency stapled to Ethereum. By the moment, we are looking for a consensus-based structure that is under development and implementation by us and other colleagues, but by the moment it is an Ethereum-based cryptocurrency, hence allowing everybody to check and verify the development of the tokens thanks to this link. We are going to provide the tokens, the fund, a trading platform to allow every single user of the tokens to know anytime, anywhere around the world, what is the current situation of the market, where the tokens are coming from, what the original credits were, etc., 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 and facilitating an ongoing process of trading and exchange. In addition to this, we are proposing, and we have already realized also, a system of, we call the ClimateCoin wallet, which is an even easier way to deal with your own credits, with your own tokens, sorry, by using apps that allows you basically having a complete control of what you are trading, what you are exchanging, and under which conditions you are doing this. This has been developed by us, and we found in CTX an excellent partner for collecting the high-quality carbon credits we need for our fund and to further implement our option. So I think that to better understand how the process is going, it's time for Wayne Shorter to introduce his part and support with his discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, many of you might have seen us around at one of the many events around the world we've attended over the years. What I can say is that obviously, having founded Carbon Trade Exchange 10 years ago, this was built on the basis of a lot of hard-fought knowledge, having built a much larger exchange company, which was in the business-to-business sector. Those of you who are not familiar with that history, which unfortunately we couldn't do because the presentation Nazis wouldn't let us have the full amount of our slides, but I will say this: we had 21 years building Bartercard, which ended up under my tutelage over $40 billion worth of turnover in business-to-business transactions. That technology, which I still have the intellectual property for, has morphed into the carbon markets. Now, I have to say that the system, as you all should know, is all about verified certified credits that are done through the international registries. We do have a unique link with the CDM registry, with the UNFCCC. And obviously that took a long time to convince the UNFCCC to do that, and also to establish a technological link in order for us to trade CERs into the voluntary market at scale. All of our systems that we put onto the CTX platform all must go through those verification processes, and everyone who buys must buy and transact. Ultimately, they're going to be retired through a registry, but in the case of the CDM registry, you don't actually need a registry account. This is part of the unique process we agreed with the UNFCCC, so that it's a buy and retire process for CERs, and that means that a corporation can purchase without having to build establish a registry account in the CDM registry first. What this means also is that for someone like ClimateCoin or any other method of retail distribution that we use, what that means is that you're guaranteed you're getting a legitimate offset, you're getting exactly what you're looking for, so you're able to determine based on the existing parameters of that. And if you don't mind clicking to the next slide, please. So as a result, the big information that we have, which is the parent company of Carbon Trade Exchange, is Global Environmental Markets. So what we have built and designed is a regional registry and exchange solution designed specifically to try and support the international markets development. Now, everything at this event and also at the event at COP, for example, is all talking about how we can take the implementation of Article 6 and turn it into commercial transactions and reality and actual outcomes. Our technological solution allows any part of any centralised registry to have multiple national jurisdictions to have a registry account within it, or they can host their own. This technology, and unfortunately I would have liked to have shown a couple other slides that show a little less complex detail than this, but basically it can allow for a UNFCCC credit to go in there, a certified credit from any other registry or exchange solution. It can be operated by nations or states within any region, and these are already linked. Now, this technology is already built, it's operational. We have a demonstration on our stand over here, so at some point over the next couple of days you're welcome to come and have a look, and we can also give you the more detailed presentation that went behind this for those of you who might be interested in this type of facility. The reality here is that one of the things I think that everyone who's been in the carbon markets for a long time, many of you longer than me, everyone's been talking about linkages for a long time. Well, this technological solution actually provides an immediate link and is capable of linking to any other registry or any other exchange. So it doesn't have to be through the CTX exchange. In fact, I'll go one step further. The tech that we can provide can actually be you having an exchange that can compete with Carbon Trade Exchange. But don't be fooled by cheap imitations like some of my former business partners, by the way, who have nothing to do with CTX, regardless of what they might say. So all of this, the certifications are all done by the legitimate parties who are qualified, whether it be at the UN level, or whether it be at a regional, like a gold standard level, or whether it be at any other registry. Obviously, each state or country would set its own rules It would set the rules on the type of credits it would accept, the jurisdictions they'd come from, the vintages, whatever other information, and we would bake all of that information into the technology. Someone mentioned before about the CORSIA program. Well, we've actually designed a similar solution which could be used for CORSIA, which can again accept any credit units into it. They also don't necessarily have to transfer out of the existing registry. So we do have built a solution which allows you to do the retirement of the credit in the parent registry where the credits were originated without transferring them. This is the true linkages that the market's been looking for a long period of time. Obviously, you know, stepping into the registry market was actually a lot easier than it was building the exchange platforms, which are quite complex. The most important thing is that what you're able to see here is any type of environmental instrument can be traded on this. By that, what I mean is you could trade carbon offsets, carbon allowances, carbon of any type, renewable energy certificates, guarantees of origin, even water credits if you wish, could all be traded off the one platform. Anything that you can link this to, obviously you have to get the agreement with that party who's hosting that, or you host it yourself if you're willing to create your own registry infrastructure and back end. The important point here is that nothing is being short-circuited. In the first slide, we showed you how the process of credits has always been the case with the CTX platform. Well, I've taken that just one step further into a national or regional platform that can be for multiple jurisdictions. I believe that this, in conjunction with the exchange technology, which now looks much more like a regulated market trading screen, again, unfortunately I can't show you that at this point, but we do have this up on the screen at our stand. What this does is allows any trader to be able to use this technology intuitively without virtually any training whatsoever. Now, obviously, the access to posting credits on the registry or onto the exchange is either done by the nations or the actual compliant entities or the market participants. Who those participants are is at the discretion of the registry operators, which could be the nation states who are going to determine who can play and who can't play, and on what basis they can do it. Fully variable in terms of fees. So for regulated parties, in the event that it's obviously going to be a regulated market, and there may be no fees applicable, or there might be fees applicable. For commercial organisations, this is something that can revolutionise the opportunity in large corporates, or it could certainly in big conglomerate organisations that have both buying and selling requirements. So we believe that once you see the actual technology, if that's the type of thing you're looking for, fantastic. If all you want to do is buy offsets, well then we can certainly help you with that as well through Carbon Trade Exchange. The reason we collaborated with ClimateCoin is because obviously there's, you know, blockchain has become the flavour of the month, and everyone's talking about how does carbon and blockchain really come together. Well, the collaboration that we've done with ClimateCoin is proof that it can happen and will happen. Now, obviously, there's more technical advancement that's got to happen. You might notice over here we've got a technology called the carbon widget, which operates out of bneutral.com. Now, that particular technology is a retail-based solution, and obviously the products there are retail. ClimateCoin is a investment/retail solution, so there's an opportunity for not only a digitalisation and blockchain crypto version of a carbon credit, but also some enhancement on your investment as well. Obviously, Carbon Trade Exchange is a wholesale market designed for medium to large or corporate businesses, and on the sell side for larger, for any type of project. Right now, for those of you who don't know, it's free for a project to join, costs nothing to list credits on the exchange. We only charge a fee when we transact. From my point of view, what the most important thing, I believe, is to be able to provide the opportunity for the technology that everyone's been talking about for so long. At first we thought, well, maybe we've got to have a buyer first before we build it. And then I thought, you know what, why don't I just build it? Maybe they will come.
Thank you, Wayne. Thanks so much. Very, very interesting. And before we kick off, we've got some questions. But when I think one of the things that's worth, you mentioned it, but it's very interesting. You were the first and only interface with the UNFCCC to deliver CERs into the voluntary market at scale. Can you talk a bit about that very briefly, the trajectory, and where you see the market going? Because this is an example, you've actually done this, an example with UNFCCC, and can you talk about as well, just briefly, what you're doing in South Africa, for example, and some of the others, to give an idea of, it's not just, to give an idea of what you're actually doing?
Yeah, sure. Look, I think that first of all, with the UNFCCC, obviously, it took a long time to establish the technological credibility and the commercial credibility in order to get even close to contract stage. They're not going to do this lightly. Obviously, a decade of experience in the carbon markets and all the other historical experience that we've had helped immensely. The implementation of the For Africa Stock Exchange technology, I think, was also important, because that required regulatory approval at the highest levels in South Africa. It's now the main competitor of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. That was completely unique technology. I probably don't have time now to explain the slide that we didn't get to see on that, but there's some very unique features that no one else could build. That technology is why we were asked to do it. So, look, I like to think that part of the reason that the UNFCCC have done this, they wanted to expand into the market, but they needed to do something that was going to act more at scale rather than the UN's existing website solution, which is sort of more like a retail product, really, than it is a wholesale product. And it was not designed to be wholesale. So to be honest with you, the very first time I showed our technology to the guys at the UNFCCC, they went, "Oh God, I wish I'd met you 2 years earlier."
Okay, great, thanks. Do we have any questions from the audience with regards to ClimateCoin, with regards to technology from Carbon Trade Exchange? Are there any questions? Yeah? Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add, Wayne?
I think that we should just point out the ClimateCoin and GEM and CTX have all got a team of people over at our stand. So over the next couple of days, feel free to come over and get a free pen and talk to someone and find some more information. Look forward to it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. We've got drinks afterwards. Looking forward to meeting all of you. Bye.